What's going on, everybody? It's the Legend Beast of Subbrow 16 here, and what you're seeing here is exactly what transpired this morning. What's sending everybody into a frenzy right now. Chris Paul to the Rockets in exchange for Louis Williams, Patrick Beverley, Sam Dekker, and the 2018 first round top 3 protected pick. Now, if you're asking me, it's clear who won this trade. And that's the Clippers. And, you know, it's very hard to use Clippers and one in the same sentence. But for the Rockets, you guys got cheated. You guys got cheated. This is completely the wrong way to go. And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to explain my reasoning. Now, just keep in mind, because I said it in my last video when I was talking about the MVP, predictions are not the end-all, be-all absolute. This is just merely my take on it. It's not the end-all, be-all, so, you know, if I'm wrong, then, hey, you know, I'm wrong. But this is what's going on in my head and what I think will happen. The Rockets, you guys did not need Chris Paul at all. At all. You guys did not need Chris Paul. You guys did perfectly fine without Chris Paul. And the reason was James Harden put on for the Houston Rockets. He had an amazing year at point guard. He did tremendous. And, you know, his only problem, yeah, he, you know, set the records for turnovers. But look at what you guys ended up in the second round with the Spurs. Nobody blames you guys for losing to the Spurs. You saw what they did to the Warriors with Kawhi Leonard. You guys took them to, what, 6 games? I forgot how many games it was. But you guys did put up a fight. The problem was not, you know, oh, we need a ball handler. James Harden is probably the best ball handler in the league, despite, you know, leading the league in turnovers. He did tremendous this season. Much props to James Harden. So it makes no sense to get rid of, you know, all the pieces that made your team great for another ball handler. That makes no sense. You guys don't need Chris Paul. This is retarded. Like, this actually makes me mad. Because it's like, as great as Chris Paul is, he don't need to be on the rock. What's he going to do that James Harden wasn't already doing? You're just going to mitigate turnovers. But guess what? James Harden did so well flourishing and already giving the ball out to people. I mean, his whole game is just drive and kick out. There's nothing that Chris Paul adds except, you know, more efficiency. But is it really more efficiency if you're getting rid of one of the best defenders in the league in Patrick Beverley? You're getting rid of a sharpshooter in Sam Dekker. And then who else? Louis Williams, who was contender for 6th man of the year. Explosive firepower off the bench. You guys just skinned your team alive. You guys just pulled a weaker version of the Warriors. Like, this is just this is like an abomination of what the Warriors did. I mean, yeah, the Warriors, they shed their bench, but they added the second best player in the league. You guys added a clone, basically a clone of James Harden. Well, I don't want to say a clone because Chris Paul is a pass first point guard and he's way more efficient, but just a lesser player, that's for sure. Chris Paul is not better than James Harden, not, you know, the previous season. The stats show that. But now you look at the roster, you know, you have James Harden, who will be playing shooting guard. You have Chris Paul, who does good defense, and he does distribute the ball. Your small forward is going to be Trevor Ariza. Power forward, you know, you guys are still fine. Your starting 5 is going to be solid, but your bench is going to suffer tremendously. And you're going to feel that, getting rid of Louis Williams and Patrick Beverley. You're going to feel that. What you guys should have done, you should have just took your chances in free agency. That's what you should have done. It just made more sense. Don't know why the Rockets took this try. I guess they were insecure about getting Chris Paul. I guess they didn't feel like they could land him naturally, or that he was going to ask for too much. I don't know what the deal was, but it's just really, really bad. Now, taking a look at the Clippers, whose team is falling apart. You guys got a lot of good pieces to start rebuilding. Patrick Beverley is a tremendous defender. Will lock up anybody, anywhere. And this is a problem. This is who you need to stop Westbrook, to stop Curry, to stop Lillard, to stop all those point guards in the West. This is who you need. You need Patrick Beverley. And now that you got rid of that, who's going to guard him? Chris Paul, he going to get his ankles broken again? Who's going to keep up with Westbrook? Chris Paul, his old ass? Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to, you know, diss on Chris Paul. He's a tremendous talent. But he's on the wrong side of 30. He hasn't lost a step. But I promise you, the amount of talent in the West at the point guard position you need Patrick Beverley. You need this lockdown defender. You need someone who can keep up, who's young. You need that explosiveness. You need that relentlessness. You need that defense that Patrick Beverley brings. I mean, let's be real. Let's be honest. Curry, Westbrook, Lillard. I mean, if you're trusting anybody to stop one of those three, specifically Westbrook, you want Beverley. I mean, not that Chris Paul's a bad option, but I mean, and then who you got? Sam Decker. You know, he's young. He can get a lot of experience playing for the Clippers if you want to start. You know, just shoot the lights out. And then, of course, you guys got. I'm missing somebody here. It was and then of course Louis Williams, just tremendous talent, one of the most underrated players in the league. You guys don't understand how good this man is coming off the bench. Like, this is the man you want leading your bench unit, because he's so good. He's tremendous. He could be a starter on more than half the teams in the league. But I mean, if you're just asking me personally, I'm like 100% confident that the Clippers, they got more value in this trade, and that the Rockets aren't going to be as good because they have two ball dominant players. But I could be wrong, and that's the thing with predictions. I mean, on paper it doesn't look good, but who knows what Coach D'Antoni has up his sleeve. Maybe there'll be a new system that flourishes so well. So thank you guys for watching this video. Like us, subscribe if you like this video, dislike you did, and let me know what you guys think. See ya, and peace.